We got Alex and Craig. Hey.
I let you guys down last time. I wasn't here, so I thought I'd turn up this time for this incredible game and this great round table. What's going on, fellas? And Alex, have you recovered from the excitement of last night?
Well, how do I sound? I feel like my voice was a little lost this morning, but I think I've recovered. I'm all good to go to talk about last night's game. And man, what a match! It was just incredible atmosphere. That was my first time being at BMO or Bank of California Stadium, and yeah, that was a proper atmosphere, soccer atmosphere, football atmosphere that you kind of do see when you're kind of going across the country and even across the border. Yeah, that was a party last night. Let me tell you, that was amazing. Where everybody was in high spirits, and I can't wait to talk with you about the match. It was just incredible.
There was a game that everybody's talking about, Craig, and let's get to it. The highlights from the biggest football game of San Diego.
Oh, there it is. Yes, absolutely. Oh, my goodness. Aztecs fight. Stony Brook die.
I believe.
All right. Well, there was a game, as Alex was alluding, over in BMO Stadium. It was actually my second time. First time was a San Diego Loyal LAFC pre-season match that I went up there. First time I'm actually in the press area, and it was.
That was your first time at BMO?
It was my first time at BMO. It was a lot of. It showed me what Snapdragon can be, but kind of chooses not to be in a lot of different ways.
You mean be soccer specific?
Very much so. But all right,
I like that.
This game had the pageantry, had everything around, but it had this lineup for San Diego FC in the back. I mean,
Tony, we talked about it before the game on the phone, right? Where
yeah, we did.
Negedy was injured, and we were like, well, it's doo-doo time. And then we kind of talked about it and said, well, I could see McVay playing us a fullback for this one. He did it in Coachella when Lefelson wasn't available, right? So we saw him playing at that right back position. He's done it before. So we got that right. And it still looks like a pretty solid back line.
The return of the midfield, Luca La Torres, Sverskov, and Godoy. Hadn't seen that in a while. Hirving, Lozano, Valakari, and Honors Dreyer. Gentlemen, anybody can go ahead and just take this one. Thoughts on the lineup that San Diego FC presented here?
Well, I'll just say this. Patty McNair being back in the lineup was gigantic. And having another veteran in the back that's willing to put his body at risk, that's willing to get stuck in. And he had some interventions that were 3-point differences on Sunday night at BMO Stadium. So I think having Patty back was gigantic. And the second thing I would just say, and I'm staying on the back line, is I'm just becoming the biggest Mano Dua fan that you can imagine. This kid is showing you game in and game out that he belongs on the stage, that he's not too small for it, that he rises to the occasion, and that you can count on him in sticky moments. So seeing those two guys in the lineup was really encouraging to me, not even worrying about everybody in the attack.
Yeah, for me, it was Oni Valakari in that 9 spot or false 9 spot. I thought he hasn't started there in these last couple matches. He's been moving up there once they sub off Tomas Angel or when Corey Baird got injured in the last match. But Oni Valakari had some great passes and just simple moments with his press that like really opened up Chucky and Anders up there. It was really good to see from him.
And that was a question, right? Like, what is this going to look like coming into the playoffs? And I think Mikey's really zeroing in on his ideal 11 as much as it can be, always knowing in the back end that you're more than likely going to lose Bombino for the under-20 World Cup. So that's where, Leo Duro comes in and you have different options. But the main event this night, like, there was no question. Like, there was something in the air, Alex. I mean, going up, I don't know what it was like inside of the buses, but I remember what some of those bus away days entail. It was great seeing those 7 buses pull up. Some of the supporters coming out, haciendo desmadre, like as you would love the scenes to be for a proper rivalry match. Alex, but Son Heung-min, this is the guy that everybody was waiting to be. Therefore, I met so many Tottenham fans that couldn't believe that they were watching Son play. So many Tottenham fans, shout out Weston, who are rooting actively against him. But you've been rooting for him this whole time. Just take me a little bit through what that was like, seeing him on the lineup and knowing he was coming.
Yeah, I mean the reaction from the crowd was yeah, you heard it as soon as they announced his name, and yeah, there was a big loud ovation for Son, and yeah, you saw it all throughout the stadium, and it's something that I'm very familiar with. That you see all the Korean flags, you see all the Korean people, and people that might have flown in from Korea to see this match. And yeah, it's a big deal to have such an international superstar like Son be at your home stadium there. So yeah, it was everything that I thought it would be. People from all over came to see LAFC for the first time. This is if they're following Premier League, they were probably following Son at Tottenham or in the Bundesliga, and this is or as a Korean national, and this was their first opportunity to see Son in LA, and you never know where that can end up being for those fans. They could start being LAFC fans, or they can come over to the good side, the good side of San Diego FC.
There's a video out there that has Son Heung-min saying "Let's go Padres." I don't see one that he's ever recorded saying "Let's go Dodgers." Have you seen this one?
Yet.
Yeah.
Just wait till next week.
It's fine.
You know, a unique financial opportunity for LAFC to capitalize on Sonny's home debut, so much so that they tried to reduce the SDFC supporters section from 600 to 250, and tried to up their ticket price from $20 to $250. And thank goodness San Diego FC stood in to keep LAFC cravenly from trying to extort San Diego fans for a much higher price than they promised. And given how the second half went, with LAFC missing like 1,000 chances to tie the game or take the lead, I'm going to say that karma is a bitch and don't piss off the soccer gods.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of give a nice little bow, I think the math was done. It was a good $60K that the club forked over for that. Just a good baseline $60K, just to say, hey, you know what, we need our 600 folk up there. And at the end of the day, my biggest takeaway was I'm just here for a great soccer event, and this has to go perfectly for MLS. This was the night for them to just say, look, we have this superstar coming home. We have the first place team in honors Dreyer, Chucky, Lozano. All the stars are out. Look how we're ramping up for the playoffs. And on the other screen, Leo Messi and in Seattle taking battle in Seattle, MLS pride and joy, wins Leagues Cup. And in here this night, this match, it was the perfect night for soccer in the U.S. at the highest level, and a lot of it has to do with San Diego FC, and San Diego FC is now on the forefront of soccer in the U.S. for sure after last night.
Yeah, no, absolutely right, and it's also a win for those fans that believe that you don't have to buy those world-class has-beens to be successful in the U.S. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, Leo Messi lost the League Cup final 3-0 against Seattle, and now Seattle collects all the Infinity Stones of championships you can win in North America.
The Grand Slam, yeah.
And San Diego FC beats Son and company on their party. So I think that just shows a big message, right? Of saying, like, you don't need to buy all these superstars that are past their prime to be successful or to be competitive. What blew my mind, granted, I thought LAFC would win this game just because of the momentum and all that they had coming in and the way SDFC has been playing lately. But what blew my mind is that despite SDFC leading the West and being up on the table for a while already, they were still underdogs in this match. LAFC was over 56% favorites to win this match before it started, which I don't know how you all felt about that.
It made sense to me, honestly, just injury wise. Like San Diego FC had a lot of players out, and it's hard to be like that good against a team like this. And always with these huge players coming in, they always make a humongous impact. I think Son almost scored so many times, if not for the amazing saves by CJ Dos Santos, which I don't think any of us would have ever predicted at the beginning of this season. That CJ Dos Santos, this young kid, this young goalkeeper who we're surprised even gets the starting spot, is just making unreal, like life-changing saves. It was so cool to see.
Craig, what do you think about just the lineup for San Diego FC as it came out? And look, they were aggressive as this is going to be a world heavyweight title match, a playoff atmosphere. The lights weren't anywhere near as bright as they have been in BMO, it seems, in a while in this season. So this was an entertaining matchup, and it started with LAFC really just kind of coming in and trying to control and dictate the pace, and it started on their favor. Bouanga trying to get themselves started, superstar on his own right, has Sonny now, and a beautiful chip, a little bit to be desired maybe on the tracking part for Manodua, but it's all right. He made up for it. Your thoughts as the game began here for San Diego FC?
Well, from an LAFC standpoint, I think you saw how much Son makes Bouanga's job so much easier because he's drawing so much attention from the defense, and it's giving Bouanga space, opportunity, single coverage to use his burst, to use his incredible athleticism. It's quite an ad for LAFC. There's no question about it. And Son was really, really good, I thought, on Sunday night as well. You know, when you look at 1-0, I think that's a spectacular touch by Bouanga. Control in a very tight space, that the ability to put that flick on right there and not panic. That's just the sign of a guy who's trying to go for, I believe they said, a third straight 20-goal season, and he's not quite there, but you know, he's got a chance at a third straight MLS 20-goal season. Very, very impressive. And as you guys all detailed, for an SDFC side that was shorthanded coming in and lacking a 9 coming in, conceding first, I think for a team that had done so 16 times on the year and was 13 wins, 3 draws, no losses with the first goal, it wasn't exactly an encouraging sign.
Alex, what was it in the stands? I mean, it's a bucket of cold water, right? The entire stadium is now just exploding. They erupted in this moment, and just what did you see from what was it, the second floor of the southwestern side, southeastern side of the stadium?
Yeah, the supporter section, the San Diego supporter section, wasn't deterred. They kept cheering on, which is, you know, what you would like to see. And I think we were really confident that this wasn't it. You know, this isn't going to end 1-0. The team just put so much fight, especially on the road, that, yeah, this isn't going to end 1-0. So I think we felt very confident that we were going to see another goal coming from San Diego FC. And it was just about like who was going to get the second goal. I mean, that really was my worry of like, okay, who's gonna just flat out best the other team and just win it at the very end. And luckily for us, it was San Diego.
Yeah, and right here, one of the plays in the 26th minute, LAFC almost does another replicate of that. Wonga, just play across. That's really well done. But I think this is where, for me, I saw CJ and the defense locked in, because this is a ball that goes out, and most people say, wow, what a miss. This was played defensively as good as it could be. CJ came out strong, closest angles, a little fortunate as well. But at the end of the day, this is a defensive play that shows urgency. And this is how, everything seems to be on fire the entire time, but they were able to manage this fire defensively. But I mean, it was good and encouraging to see this. And then the play,
This play's phenomenal.
incredible.
Like that touch by Dreyer, like to get the Chucky and that Chucky first touch to cross over the center back, like it's just a phenomenal play. And this is something that SanDiego FC has been doing all season. DP to DP player, right? Like Chucky scores in front of LAFC fans, like that touch from Balakari, which is what he does so great at the false nine. Abe, you mentioned that. How did you kind of like see this play and how did you react to it?
And I think the craziest part about it is it starts with Patty McNair too. Like he's the one that makes that pass up to Valakari, and just Valakari has gotten so comfortable up top with Anders Dreyer. He knows he can just tap it to him. Maybe Dreyer's calling for it, but to have the wherewithal, I'm just gonna pass it straight to Dreyer and let him do something with it, and Dreyer just make that unreal pass. It's so like SanDiego at this point. This is what this team has proven they can do, and like now it's kind of good that Oni Valakari has been able to play throughout the whole pitch because he's so comfortable in the midfield and he's comfortable up top too. To be able to make these types of passes is going to be really good for this team.
I mean, you look at that right there, and it's like 3-7-10. The player's taken out of the play by the passing in the span of just a couple of seconds from McNair up to Valakari, back to Dreyer, and then, you know, a very simple soccer play, the 1-2, back to you, up to you, and the ability of Lozano to not only anticipate, to drive, to receive, and then to receive in such a way. He does have to stutter step a little bit. He's not on his strongest foot, but for him to have the optionality at the moment of strike to be basically center goal, right, left, leaves literally the goalkeeper frozen in his steps, unable to commit to one side or the other. It's a very clinical goal, and it's a sign of players who have been training together all year and created indelible chemistry. And I think that's the only thing you can say about Dreyer and about Chucky.
That's still Hugo Lloris who Chucky scored on. Like that's still a pedigree. It's not the Hugo Lloris of old, but that's a moment where, like, in order to leave Hugo Lloris stranded in a nowhereville like that, it takes skill because he's able to lean his entire body one way and just do a feint and just the slightest touch for that. And
I mean, Chucky scored on great goal. I mean, he scored on my
Neuer,
right? Like, but I mean, talk about Chucky making a statement, right? Getting called up for the Mexican national team and scoring a goal and having a great game and beating Son and company and with LAFC. Like, Javier Aguirre's probably looking at this and saying, "Okay, Chucky, like you want some minutes in this upcoming friendly, so he might get some minutes for sure." But yeah, no, like this goal was just so beautiful to watch. Like, I mean, this is a contender for goal of the week, I believe.
Yeah,
SanDiego.Futbol. But that touch from Dreyer, right? Like right there, making it 31 goal contributions and making the statement saying, "I should be the MVP."
You know, the thing that I loved about the goal was, I was talking to a few friends about the two guys I'm looking forward to watching this match were Chucky, Lozano, and Anders Dreyer, because it just felt like they just rise to the occasions for these big matches. And not only does he score the goal, but he points to the 32-52, tells them like, "Yeah, I hear you guys talking." Like, I love everything about that. I'm so happy that Chucky is on our side and not anywhere else. And I always think about, like, LA Galaxy almost had a chance to get Chucky, and I'm just so glad he's ours because he just brings it. He brings it to big matches. You know, the most famous one we always hear about is Germany 2018. But man, it was just a whole nother level for both Lozano and Dreyer.
It was incredible. And look, the thing about it is that if this team is playing like this, and this is what Mikey Vada said that he was going to go ahead and do, he's going to go ahead and just run this team and sharpen this team, and they're going to maintain this edge about them into playoffs. And if they keep playing like this, again, hopefully it's sustainable. But this has been the question, Craig, the entire season. Is this sustainable? Can they keep playing? Can they keep winning? Can they keep winning on the road? This is now another victory on the road, tying records on records left and right. And Mikey Vadas and company, just steady hand. It's another game. Here we go.
Well, as we talked about in the last episode of the CHROMANIACS, I thought it was quite interesting on Apple TV's broadcast on the post game. They asked Dreyer, why are you guys so good on the road? And to be honest, I thought he echoed some of the comments that we made last week, that teams that are at home feel an obligation to try and put on a show for their fans, to try and get forward, to be creative, to be offensive. And that gives San Diego FC the space they need to play the style of game they want. Teams that come in on the road to Snapdragon Stadium have no ego. They don't care how ugly they look or how pretty they look. All they care about is keeping SDFC from doing what they want to do in the low block, satisfied with 5 counters as their entire offensive output for the night, and willing to accept 0-0 or 1-1 along the way. So I think we saw that, but as you are going through the highlight reel, to me, the moment of the match is late first half when Son takes dead aim at inside left post and CJ Dos Santos goes Superman and makes the perfect two-hand diving save. Absolute perfect, 10 of 10, no notes, clinical perfection. Name any goalkeeper in the world. This is what they're dreaming of in this exact moment, is to have the reaction time, to have the athleticism, to have the size and speed to be able to parry that ball. And right there, that's supposed to be 2-1. LAFC's into the locker room at halftime ahead, and the entire match is different. And on that play, to me, that's a 3-point save right there.
He had an excellent match, CJ, and this is something where there's a level of compensation that goalkeepers sometimes do. Good goalkeepers with their legs usually, historically, are not the best shot stoppers, and vice versa. This is one where, this is really the prototypical of the next version of modern goalkeeping. You have to be excellent with your feet, and you have to be there with your reflex, just elastic saves, para la foto, as we say in Spanish, for the picture. Like even if nobody's watching, if there's one person who in a empty Sunday league game, but that sees that and just claps it up, the goalkeeper that made their day. But in front of a sold out LAFC game against Sonny, he's good.
I agree with what you said, Craig. Like, this is a 3-point save. Like, this is right before halftime. We've seen it before, right? When a team goes down right before halftime, that brings the morale down. That brings the whole team down for the whole second half. And it's like, damn, like, we were surviving. We tied it up, gave that goal away against Son. Oh, man, now you come back second half trying to catch up and everything. But I agree with that. And the second half was a pretty similar story where LAFC were trying. And the backline, Manu Dua, was near perfect in this match. Like, my hat's off to Mikey Varas for saying, Manu Dua, you're a center back. Like, they drafted him as a center defensive mid.
Yeah.
And they saw something in him and said, no, you're going to play center back for us. Maybe because of all the injuries, but the guy is adapting so fast and so well to that center back position.
Well, it's so true, guys. And
Agreed.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I was saying it earlier. Dua just showed so much, but as you were just playing through for the YouTube crowd some of the highlights, I mean, we're going to get to SDFC's moment of glory, and it was truly glorious. So delicious, you could savor the taste for days and weeks to come. But interspersed all around that were, 0.21, 0.30 type shots on the XG for LAFC that they either came up a quarter step late or an inch off or just a, half step behind. And I'm willing to say that as well, that for all the good things SDFC did on that night, Sunday night, they also had a beautiful dose of good luck along the way.
Sure. Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, luck is part of the game.
Yes.
And I think the soccer gods, like you said earlier, and the luck was all behind San Diego FC on Sunday night.
That
was insane.
There is a hidden deity for goalkeepers in training. It's just the unspoken, just kind of harem of belief of the post gods. Like you have to give your sacrifice to the post gods. You got to touch crossbar, post. Like it's a thing. You have to do it. And CJ did the ritual correctly last night. So hats off to him on that end. But you're speaking about the glorious moment, Craig, and top to bottom, I agreed. It's incredible what happened.
Its intended target, Son Heung-min. Now in behind for Smoliakov. This is Dreyer. This is his sweet spot. The big cut. A second cut. And in. Is he your MVP?
Is
Insane.
he the MVP?
Insane.
I mean, come on, guys.
It's so difficult just because I mean it's the Messi effect, and MLS will do anything for Messi to shine. But at this point, Dreyer is the best player in MLS. Like there's no doubt about it. Like 32 goal contributions, wins this game. And how many times have we seen Yepes Verskov give those through balls to Anders Dreyer? Like that pass is just insane. Like I think I heard it on the broadcast too. Like
It's sexy.
Sverskov is probably the best defender midfielder in the MLS as well. Like there's no doubt about that. Like that, there's a reason why he was one of the signings along with Ingvarsson, who, by the way, hot take, he's probably the biggest bust besides a different player in my mind. But
Andre Reyes.
yes, there you go. Like those guys are busts in my eyes right now. But like this pass from Sverskov is insane.
That was what I was going to say. Is I think it's the pass of the year. Honestly, I think it's the best pass of the in the history, therefore, of San Diego FC, and he's had, 2 or 3, on the podium in terms of the opportunities. How Dreyer finishes, cut, just again. That's just a goal scorer. That's a goal scorer given space, given opportunity with confidence to do his thing. But he gets open because Tverskov takes 7 players out of a pass. Well, let's just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Takes 5 players out of the play all at once with one pass. Unbelievable in his ability, his vision, his acuity to connect his vision to his feet. And to me, that's his goal, even though Dreyer gets it.
100%. My favorite part is actually just La Gambetta, the fancy footwork that he does leading up to it. Again, right here, he's facing away from goal completely. 1 touch, 2 touch, goodbye. What am I going to do with this ball? I see the run immediately. And with this, the grace that he launches this pass with. In NFL, you see quarterbacks just like, how did you just flick it? And it's 90 yards that way. Like, just such ease in the ability to get the ball exactly where you need to, take away the entire midfield. There's no midfield to be had. It's just incredible what Sverskov has been able to do, and that's just elegance. Yeah,
I think my favorite part is the second cut, just because we've seen him cut before. Like the first cut, it's like, okay, he's going to take a shot right here. That's what I'm thinking in my head. But he takes another cut, sending another player to the floor too. Like not just like, oh, he gets like it's just crazy.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And this is probably the moment where I lost my mind and probably my voice after this, because taking that huge lead in LA, 2-1, and I think I was jumping up and down, going side to side in the row. I just lost it. It was a great moment. It's great to see just Dreyer, great footwork and finishing, and this is why Hugo Lloris is not my favorite goalkeeper I've ever seen, because he just like these are moments where I felt like he could just like attack the ball and he could probably gotten it, but he just sat back, waited for it, and then he kind of play yourself a little bit, because then you got one guy in front of you, another guy is trying to slide in, and then you have like you're nowhere to go. You can't do anything about it.
Well, Alex, this is where luck plays in. Like,
Yeah.
this is where the soccer gods come in. Like, they get into the opposing team's head. Like, There was a play where Wonga had a one-on-one against CJ, and he doesn't take a shot, and CJ does what you're saying, right? Attack the ball and gets the ball out of Wonga's feet. Like, I'm a true believer in that. I mean, talk about Spurs Cup, right? There's a reason why he leads MLS in touches, 2,700 touches. Like right behind him at 2,500, Chris McVeigh. Like this team passes more than anything. Like the small touches they do down the middle to open it up, creating that space up ahead for Chucky and Dreyer. It is insane. Like there's a reason. I mean, like SDFC is leading in goals right now. They're leading in assists. They're leading in passes completed in MLS. Like they are the best team in MLS, in my opinion, right now. I mean, Philadelphia's up there, but it'll be interesting to see them playing off at some point in the future, potentially in playoffs and the MLS Cup finals. Who knows?
Yeah, no, it's a good time to be a San Diego FC fan. But it wasn't necessarily the most fun, especially after that. After all of that, because 2-1, yes, correct. But you still have to stave off a very hungry LAFC team and another post, Son Heung-min. A game of inches, a game of centimeters, whatever you want, the metric system. This again is 2-2.
Yeah,
for
Tony,
sure.
Another thing I want to point out before all this, right, is Paddy McNair goes out injured again. And then Ian Pilcher comes in. And I was really confused to that what Mike Ivaras did. He switched the whole back line. Like he sent Ian Pilcher, I think, at left back, and then Bombino was on a right back, and then like he switched everything around, which was so confusing. And I was like, oh man, you don't mess with the backline like that. Just do hombre por hombre, like switch Pilcher for Paddy McNair and let that be it. And then after all this, he does something else that we haven't seen. He parks the bus. He throws in Duru in there, and he goes to a 3 center back line. And I think I've counted like twice in the season that Mike Ivaras decides to park the bus. And I don't know how you all felt, Craig. San Diego FC parked the bus at the end, and it still worked out.
Look, you can't blame him. There's going to be times that you have to do it. And on the road at BMO Stadium, protecting a 2-1 lead on Sonny's, LAFC home debut, that's one of those times. And I thought, honestly, that reshuffling again is one of the moments that gets San Diego FC the win, because amidst that string of like 5 B+ to A+ chances that LAFC gets down the line, is McVeigh just in the middle, calmly. I remember one sequence where it was once and twice coming through with the last-ditch intervention, the last-ditch touch to keep things away from a near certain goal for LAFC. So as much as Dua impressed, McVeigh really impressed. And while McNair was in there, of course, he took Martinez out with an incredible tackle that was as ruthless as it was clean. Those moments are the moments where SDFC showed their physicality, their tenacity, and their toughness.
And to be engaged too, defensively and locked in. And this is one of the chances here. 83rd minute, you're obviously exhausted, a hot day, and somehow just finding ways to get this ball out of the danger zone and out of their area. Yeah, you can see a corner, but that's better than any ball in Son Heung-min's feet. So
I want to see more of Soma.
100%.
Like
there's
moments that he's gotten, like he's been so clinical and like making clutch plays. Like, I mean, look at him, like clearing this. That's a goal. Broom, broom, passes the car. But yeah, no, like he saves that very, like these kids that San Diego FC are signing, it's working out, Tony. Like it really is. Like we talk about the career mode and how people play, and some people go the youngster route and win everything with the youngsters and the kiddos. Like San Diego FC is doing that, and Mikey Vada and Tyler Hibbs should be proud of what they've put together so far.
Note on McNair, our friend Dimitri actually asked Mikey Vadas in the post-match about his injury, and it was just a
Precaution?
No. He had a cramp. It was just a cramp. So that's why he came out.
Okay.
So Paddy McNair came out of the game. It was just a cramp. And he decided, you know what? Let's not risk it. He's still on the mend. Let's go ahead and do that rotation. So that was confirmed. Shout out to SDFC Nation.
How's everyone
Dimitri.
feeling after 9 minutes? Like they added 9 minutes at the end. Am I the only one that thought that was reasonable?
Yeah, that was reasonable.
I thought.
Well, McNair took out Martinez, right? And they had Martinez was down for a long time. like I saw Patty McNair kill a man on the pitch. Like that's how bad it was. I mean, that tackle was it probably I think we saw like the best save of the year, the best pass of the year, and possibly the best tackle of the year, all in one match. And yeah, Patty McNair just gave us so much of an edge that yeah, a grown man just went up against a 19-year-old kid, and the grown man won easily. And yeah, I hope Martinez is okay, by the way. But yeah, that did not look good. Like when I was like looking at that, like on inside the stadium, I was like, oh man, this guy's not getting up. Like, yeah, it looked pretty bad.
Elbow to the heart will do that to you at full speed. It's a little bit jarring. All I can say is in our Padres Hot Tub Discord, as I was on the couch going through this, around the 75th minute, someone wrote like, there's going to be 10 minutes of stoppage time. So the fact that there was 9, I thought was, kind of nice. It's not 10. And they got through it okay.
And look, this is something that we've seen now San Diego FC go through a couple times now, is really they've been tested. We saw it against Kansas City, Sporting Kansas City, where you didn't expect them to come out as aggressive, but you weathered that storm. There's been a couple times where now in the latter half of the season, your offense isn't producing 4 goals at a time. You're getting the job done. You're going in away. You're making sure that the machine is well oiled. You're having some really amazing performances defensively and the midfield individually, but just collectively is the biggest thing. This is the team. I haven't seen San Diego FC play a better team, honestly. A better team than they are on the pitch. I have not seen a better team. They win like a team. They tie like a team. They lose like a team. They do everything like a team, and that's again a testament to what Honor Dreyer actually said in the post match. He said, "Look, when you have 25 plus players that want to be here, it's different because they all are coming to this new place. It's not like they where they're coming into a system that's already in place and you're trying to take the place out of somebody." Mikey Vadas actually pointed out too that it's great to hear when his guys say, I lost my starting spot today, but I'm even happier for the guy that beat me for it. And that's the mentality that San Diego FC has right now. And they're incredibly just team-oriented, and just all kudos to Mikey Vadas and company to be able to harness that. And I'm glad that, there really hasn't been a cancer that's been too bad in the locker room, because this tends to be very fragile in a lot of ways. But while you're in the sweet spot, just enjoy it. Enjoy the ride.
I agree with everything like you guys are saying, right? Like, I mean, it does feel different every time we go to training or we see them post match. Like, there is that vibe that this team is together and they're here to prove everyone else wrong. And it's impressive. Like, I think they're now being labeled, and rightfully so, the best expansion team in MLS. And it's history. I mean, they're one away win of breaking the record for most consecutive road wins for an expansion team. They're 2 away wins consecutively to tying the all-time MLS record.
Period.
Like, for road win, like that's impressive alone, right? Especially from an expansion team. They just beat LAFC. They're 5-0 against California teams. Possibly can make it 6-0 against San Jose and San Diego soon.
Isn't that the best?
Like
just like point blank, San Diego, LA.
To answer this question, Tony, sorry, like San Diego FC will win the championship before the Padres does.
I don't know.
Sorry, Craig, but I'm pretty sure you agree with that.
Well, it's scheduling timing.
I do have a question for.
It's true too.
I have a question for Craig, since I think when we talked about it all together in the CHROMANIACS episode, like maybe a couple of weeks ago, you said LAFC is probably the team that scares you the most. Do you still say that today? Even if we see them in the playoffs?
1,000 billion, 100 trillion %. They're the best team I've seen this year. They could have won down here. They could have won up there. Bawanga is like a half touch away from having like 5 goals against San Diego FC in these matches. He was just a millimeter off multiple times, and they're now with Son, they're even better than they were before. So yeah, they're the team that scares me the most, more than the Loons, more than Vancouver, more than Portland, or anyone else. To me, LAFC is that team. They're that good, and now there's a nice little separation in the standings. LAFC, I believe, still has 3 matches in hand on San Diego, but with SDFC getting all 3 here, it keeps LAFC far enough away that you feel like they might not even be on the same side of the bracket when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Right now, if the season ended today, I think there's a chance they would face them in the second round of the MLS playoffs, which would be insane. Like San Diego versus LA at Snapdragon Stadium. Like I kind of agree with Craig though. It's probably the scariest team that San Diego could face. Like Son Heung-min in Snapdragon Stadium in front of 32,000 screaming San Diego fans sounds like a crazy experience.
You gave them a reason too. Like this was the reason you gave them to hate you. Like you ruined their party. Like, okay, they lost away. Okay, they're still new guys. Hey, at least they still beat LA. It's not like LA Galaxy, beats the new San Diego team. All right, we'll be fine. We'll even things out. But no, you embarrassed them in their biggest game of the season at home, and they're gonna want revenge. With that said, the prestigious Nations League, Leagues Cup champions are the Seattle Sounders. So cuidado con Sounders, because that's a really, really good team. I think
they are
the closest thing to a better team, if it's not equally teamy than San Diego FC.
I'll just say this. This is why I continue to collect these moments in my mind, in my heart, for the 2025 season. This has been such a magical summer for San Diego FC. And I still have no expectation for them to win MLS Cup. I don't have any expectation that they're going to go to MLS Cup or that they're going to lift the Supporters Shield. All these things still seem pie in the sky and ludicrous to me. And I don't want to be like, this is enough. But like, if we going perfect, being the Kings of Cali, going to BMO Stadium and spoiling Sun's debut, going to LA Galaxy and spoiling their cup lift day on the season opener. These are moments I'm going to remember my entire life. This regular season has been truly magical. And whether they can finish it with a postseason to match, I don't know. But these moments are ones I will remember for years and decades to come.
They're climbing up that best San Diego teams. Like that, Mount Rushmore of San Diego teams. Tell me, just a first time at LA 4 different times and you beat them. Like any team that does that, I'm automatically on board with them. Like might have been the greatest of all time. End the season now. You're the Kings of California. You're the best here. You can talk all your shit. Like you get to do all of that. You get to do all of it. But what's more likely to happen now? Supporters Shield or MLS Cup for San Diego FC as it stands now?
That's tricky, right? Because Philadelphia still are in the driver's seat. Like they're a point ahead still. Like
Ilowski's contributing
can
too.
Ruin that party for San Diego FC. But I think more realistic, the supporter.
I saw pain smile in Craig right now.
Yeah, I think supporter show is more realistic than MLS Cup. I think when it comes to playoffs, and that's in sports in general. Like you need the experience. You need players to have that like in their resume, right? To know how to attack these games.
Yeah.
That first round it's just best out of 3.
So
like
stupid.
that's so tricky because it's not even aggregate. There's no away goals. There's nothing like that.
So dumb.
If you take it game by game, on paper, San Diego and the way the season has been going, they should be able to cruise by playoffs. But we all know that San Diego has a history when it comes to playoffs.
All right, that's enough of you. That's enough of you.
Yeah, quit it, you.
I have the volume over here. All right, but you're not wrong. But you're not wrong. Well, it's a really good point to be at. Yeah, go for it.
I want to ask, like, at this point, for me, the expectation for San Diego FC is to win it all. They've proven that they can be the best.
They can.
And I don't care if it's an inaugural season and it's their first year. At this point, if you lose in the first round of playoffs and you don't win Supporters Shield, this is a failed season. And I think Mikey will agree with
that. Failed season. It's a failed finich to an incredible season.
Okay, I guess if you put it that way. But, I mean, you didn't win anything.
But you weren't supposed to.
It doesn't matter.
The
though.
hearts of San Diego,
You elevated the expectations to have people believe that you can win something.
So don't give people hope?
No, not that. But I think at the end of the day, like, if you don't win something, and this is where Mikey Vadas and the players will agree in this competitive sense, if you don't win anything, then what is there to celebrate? Like, you had a great first season. I mean, St. Louis also finished first in the West their first year.
They had a great first season too.
But I'm pretty
They
sure
really did.
Ask those fans, they probably wish their team did something like a supporter shield.
Didn't they just get rid of their general manager? The guy that actually put that a whole thing together. Yeah,
3 years.
Yeah.
Count them.
Guess he should have got a trophy lift, huh? Maybe he would have stuck around a little bit longer. I get what you're saying, and I think it's in the spirit of what Coach Vadas said. Iorike. You know, what's next? What's going to happen next? What now? And that's a valid question, and I love that their sights are set there. I appreciate that, but I'm not going to say that I'm going to be disappointed if they don't win MLS Cup. Like, if they win MLS Cup, it's going to be the San Diego season of all time. It'll be the greatest season in the history of San Diego professional sports, acing out the 1985 San Diego Sockers, who came from 3 games to 1 back at the Minnesota Strikers and completed their 5-peat. Like, you know, there's obviously indelible history of who came through at the most clutch moment when indoor was the biggest sport in America. And that was the 85 Sockers. But then, like the rest of the great teams in San Diego history, the 2006 Chargers, right? The 1994 Chargers, the 1998 Padres, the 1984 Padres. That's probably your top 5 right there. Obviously, soccer's number 1. Everyone would agree. But, you know,
it's every category. They like, there's Mount Rushmore, Craig, but then there's the mountain.
Right. There's like the cloud over the mountain, and that's the cloud of Ron Newman and Bronco Segota, right? And, you know, Clavijo and everyone else right there. But yeah, SDFC has a chance to be on the top of the entire list if they finish this and actually lift a cup. And even if they don't, they will be a team that I will remember my entire life as an incredible debutante debut.
Yeah, it's a Cinderella story all throughout.
For me, looking back to where this season started, where we're just hearing all about this right to dream style, this academy, these young players, this whole system that they're gonna like introduce, and like basically explaining like Tyler Heaps is all about Moneyball. This is how he's gonna run this team. My immediate thought was, okay, they'll be lucky to push into the playoffs, be one of those last playoff spots. But to be this dominant in the MLS and just show this as a proof of concept for the rest of their entire history at this point, like I think you've established yourself as one of the premier brands in San Diego. And that's something I would not have expected, especially with the rollout of everything San Diego FC. People were mad about the logo, the crest, the colors, the jersey, all these different things. And now at this point with like Anders Dreyer getting MVP votes and Chucky Lozano performing at such a high level, people falling in love with Yepes Farskov, Manu Dua, like there's so many different players that people can care about, and so many different ways people can connect to this team.
There's so much, you know, in the machine of MLS that it's easy to get cynical about it, but like the organic part of what the players are doing on the field. At the end of the day, I was explaining to somebody like just the way that sports is in soccer is here in the States versus in other parts of the country, right? You go to the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl is an event. That's what you pay your ticket for. But in other places, you go to a soccer match, but the event is the game itself. Like the actual game itself is what you want to just sit there and watch and pay for the game. And if you just sit at Snapdragon Stadium and watch this team play, whether it's in Snapdragon, whether it's again a Sunday league in Mission Bay, like you're gonna, if you're a soccer fan, you're just gonna take pause and watch these 11, 20, whatever players play. You want to see what Mikey Vadas is doing. You want to see the development of these players. You want to see like, oh, that 18-year-old just stuck it to a 35-year-old man. Like, all right, like let's that's what you want to hear. All right, kids, like. It's really amazing what they've been able to do, and hey, they've been shutting mouths up. And if all the criticism about like their buildup in this is turning into this positivity for the city, I'm for it. I'm 100% for that.
I know it's I mean, I like to think ahead and just be like, all right, look, like Bombino's on loan from LAFC, and he just completely like pocketed like a lot of defenders from LAFC.
Yeah.
Now LAFC is gonna want to have him next season. You know, Valakari, great season. He's also on loan at SDFC. So many players are on loan, and it's going to be hard to be able to sign contracts for all of them. But that just also means that, you know what, I'm sure they'll find other players to bring in and make it successful. And the thing that goes through my mind is, I mean, is this right to dream style? We talked about it before the season, right? Is this right to dream style going to suffice? Is it going to be dominant? Is it going to be competitive in MLS? Is it going to be easy to get figured out? In Denmark, FC Northland, they're competing with young players. Have they won anything? Not yet. Are they dominant? Not so much. But here in MLS, in America, this style is just taking over. They're dominant. They're first in the West. They're winning games that they're not supposed to be winning. Is MLS really ahead of its time, or is Right to Dream just kind of taking over, and that's going to be the future of maybe North American soccer?
Alex, you've been around this league long enough.
Like, I'm just curious.
What's going on?
Well, I mean, this isn't like anything like we haven't seen. Like when we talked about the San Jose Earthquakes, they're huge on getting homegrown players and getting them through their system and letting them, develop and, play with, other teams, other USL teams, and yeah, they're all about that. But creating the system that it's always going to be this like 4-4-3, it's going to be possessive, it's going to be being on the front foot. I think the style is just made for MLS, and it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see if anyone can really stop it. So far we're doing pretty good, but we're doing it rather differently now that we're winning in different ways. Like the last goal we talked about with Dreyer, that was like in transition. So I think this team, like they adapt, they find different ways to win, and it's been great to really see. Like the I think we're still getting to know like the system. We're years ahead. We're years away from actually seeing like the Right to Dream like kind of do its magic as we see players go in, develop, come up. I think we're still years away from that, but there other teams have done different things with their development system, and it's not going to be the first, but hopefully it's going to work for us. It's something that's going to help us bring in new players, get them develop and contribute at San Diego FC.
You guys will like this. In the press box, there's people who cover LAFC week in, week out, and when it was around the 85th minute, it just looked like it's just not going to happen for LAFC. There was just pointing and complaining of like, you guys, Pablo Cisniega is part of the San Diego FC team. Tommy Angel, he's not playing, but he's there. Who else was LAFC and let him go? Luca Bombino. So they were incredibly sour about the fact that Bombino was playing for SDFC and LAFC let him go. And LAFC has no say whether or not he stays an LAFC player moving forward. And from what I understand, he's going to be a San Diego FC player. Like it's just
has to be.
It's just count him as a San Diego FC player. Might as well from here on out. But
I think most of these loan deals have a buy option at the end of it. Most of them. So
Yeah, some don't.
yeah, Bombino is definitely one that you need to keep in your squad.
Well, let's hear from Mikey Varas post-match because, he's telling us how he's going to do it and he's going to play. So what's the difference? It's not like it's any different from last week. Well, we'll stick to the style and stick to our fundamentals, and they do that. But what makes this team different?
This season, you've been able to come into away matches and really establish yourself. You've been telling everybody this league that you're sticking to your style, and that's something that they can prepare for. What is it between the lines that makes this team so special?
I think the first thing is it's about the collective. It's about our style. It's not about me. I'm just one component in this huge thing, right? And it's the players, it's the staff, it's the ownership. It's a collective of people who are united by convictions and effort. And when you have that, you always have an opportunity of winning. Does it guarantee it? No way. No way. And sometimes it's not going to go our way, but you always have a chance.
Can you talk a bit about that defensive patience that was able to be shown in some of the young players once again stepping up in those moments and putting some world-class players in tough positions and getting the victory at the end?
Yeah, we talked about it. Impacting the flow of the game was going to be really important. They're a top team. We knew the environment was going to be top. Sun's first home game, so there's going to be a lot of electricity around this game. The guys talked about sticking to our principles. They talked about, being selfless. They talked about making plays, because in these games you got to be ruthless in both boxes. It's not just about attacking plays, but it's also about making big blocks, big defensive actions. And if you think you're not going to have to do that, you're not going to win very often.
And you guys started off.
What are your thoughts? You love Mikey Varas, Craig. That's the guy.
God, it almost makes me emotional listening to him talk, honestly, because his humility just shines through in everything he says. And it's not a false humility. You can tell people who are fake humble. And that's not Mikey Varas. He immediately at the first comment when you're asking him says it's not about me. It's a collective. I'm just a small part of this. I'm just one voice in the room. And that's incredible. His honesty, his humility. The reason I want to see this team this year lift that cup is him. It's him, period. Above and beyond every player, every front office member, everything else, it's him, because we're not going to have him forever. But I want to remember him as the greatest coach San Diego ever saw. And he has a chance to be that.
He's well on his way. Coach of the year? Right?
Yeah,
Easily.
has to be.
Who
Has to
else
be.
in contention?
Probably
I mean-
Phillies coach.
Okay.
But that's about it, I think. Yeah.
I don't know. I think Javier Mascherano's up.
Late.
I think something that I really like about Mikey Varas is that he's very realistic about things. Like the fact that he knows that everybody's replaceable.
Mhm.
And by what I mean with that is like asking him, hey, are you gonna start resting players? You already clinched playoffs. He said, absolutely not. Like if a player gets hurt, all right, next man up. He said, if I'm absent because I'm sick, someone else is gonna come in and do the job.
Mhm.
Like he legit knows that everybody's replaceable. There's no one person that's above everyone else. I mean, maybe Dreyer, right? Just saying, but he legit believes that.
That's a man who values his job. That's a man who's worked at a fast food restaurant before, probably, or some sort of
It's
like just the value of a hard day's work and going in, clocking out. You know what? I may not be here tomorrow, but the work will. So it has to be done right when I'm here. And I agree, Craig. Like if there's one person that deserves all the accolades and everything that's happened, it's thanks to him. I think now, outside of obviously just anything San Diego soccer related, again, Mount Rushmore, the actual mountain, best coach on his way for San Diego soccer team. Abe, where do you put Casey Stoney? She won a supporter shield for you guys. Not you guys, just San
You
Diego.
guys. Minority wave owner, Abraham Cepeda.
Yeah, no, I need a lot more money if I were to do that. But I think he's definitely up there. Like he has done so much and spoken out about important things too. Like I think back to that first home game and talking about the chant and just immediately denouncing it, and then also at the same time protecting the supporters who were very clearly not involved in that. I thought that was something that like you don't see often from a coach. Oftentimes coaches will just kind of say the very basic thing, but when he talks, none of it ever feels like it's from a PR statement. Maybe at the beginning we kind of thought like, oh wow, he's giving all these lines and stuff, but he really believes all this stuff, and that's something really cool to see from a coach.
No, I love it. He's yeah.
At what point do you play it a little more cautious though? Because I mean, it's this style, right? Like
I see. There's no pleasing you.
No, I mean,
Never.
I saw the comment like they'll be down. Like I'll keep doing it because I mean, at one point you also have to advocate for player safety, and this style is very demanding, especially for the back line. I mean, it's not a coincidence you have 3 right backs injured. You have now a left back injured, a center back that was out for the season.
Next man up.
Like
somebody wants the
You're
hours.
running out of man on that back line.
Somebody wants the hours. Somebody wants to clock in. You know, Corey Baird wanted it. Came in, transferred in from the branch in Cincinnati, and
I mean, we're 2 injuries away from really having like Sverskov playing center back.
He'd probably be great center back.
He's great at it as well. I know.
not that
but,
anybody needs to see it. You're right,
but I mean, you're 5 games away from playoffs already. Like at one point, you also need to start thinking. I'm pretty sure they're doing it with Vartsen, right? They're probably just keeping him so he can have 1 or 2 games in playoffs. But I don't think he's 100% fit yet. He hasn't came back from that very bad injury that he had. Like.
Yeah, so that was mostly because they needed to know whether or not they needed to deploy Marcus Vartsen earlier than they 100% needed based on the transfer market window. And so they got Pellegrini, and then
Corey Baird got injured.
Corey Baird, but again, you know, he was playing all right. He was on track to not be needed in that game had Corey Baird stayed
he
healthy.
Had a sensational home debut. Like he was playing great, and then he gets injured. But I mean, like to me and Vartsen, it's a buzz signing. Like obviously you weren't counting on a season-ending injury and him not getting the minutes that he's getting. But I mean that's a bust.
Talk to me when Vartsen assists Tomas Angel in the game-winning goal in the second round of the Western Conference against LAFC. And
if that
I'm going to play this.
If that happens, I'll tell you, wow, that was worth it.
How did Tony know that?
It's the best you'll get out of Chiva is if Vartsen gets that goal to put them in MLS Cup, he'll be like,
great signing.
Well, I guess it was worth it. I guess.
If Tomas Angel gets minutes in a playoff game, something went very wrong.
that too. I had Vartsen before the season started to getting close, if not past 20 goals. So, I mean, I believed in Vartsen before the season started. Like, I thought he was going to be probably one of the best strikers in MLS. He had a slow start to the season. That injury happened. I mean, he comes back and wins a game for San Diego FC. Like, he is a talented player, but at the same time, it's like, is he injury prone? Is that a thing? I mean, you could have still had Iloski. Like, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm hoping, and maybe it is good that Mikey Vadas is playing this way. I mean, it's working so far. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, no, he needs to be resting Anders Dreyer now. Like, no, that's absolutely not what he's supposed to be doing. But I don't know what I'm trying to get at, to be honest. But
like, you're scared. You're afraid.
Whatever's happening.
You've been in San Diego long enough and just been here just to understand that there is trauma in sports and it's a real thing.
I just don't want to see my best pals be hurt by another San Diego sports team.
Absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. But so far so good. So far so good. All right. LAFC. How was the trip back? How everything was fine. This was where I will say too, Alex. LAFC does away day supporters well. The system that they have is excellent. They kind of have, you know, San Diego FC supporters in this little like nook off to the side outside the stadium. That's their own beer garden, their own porta potty garden. Like it's good. It's done in a Disneyland style of ingress egress. Like it was good times, and that's another good news. No fights from what I understood. But Alex, you were there. They win. You even realize that they won?
Oh man, I thought it was all a dream. Like it was so amazing. They won, and yeah, they did section us off pretty well. I think everybody kind of was kind of happy with that. Like the bus went right to the gate. From the gate, you go in, you can go right up to the section, or you can just get your drinks. You can use the restroom. It's all there. You're all sectioned off. It's a pretty good system. But yeah, like after the match, same thing. You just go straight to the buses. We had some celebratory beers on the bus. Yeah,
Some.
thank you for the people that hooked me up. That was great. Thank you. And then yeah, it was a great drive home. I mean, and then also seeing like all the reaction. I know Craig was texting us, and like we didn't have any signal. Like I didn't have signal. Yeah. So, but yeah, Craig was texting us. I was seeing like all the different chat rooms. Like people were just elated. They were so happy and just it was just like good times all around. So I do appreciate that. I do appreciate everybody I met during this trip. Everybody had so many great things to say about CHROMANIACS, about Craig. They were asking for Craig and being like, "Hey, is Craig making the trip up here?" I'm
I
like,
know.
"No." And then
Steve
they were
asked
worried.
like 3 times. I couldn't make it. I felt
Yeah.
terrible, but also I'm still here standing up. I'm too old to have done what you kids did and still be upright the next day. I would have been completely down and out.
I think
Chromaniac could have done it though.
Yeah,
That's fair. The CHROMANIAC would have been
CHROMANIAC
fine.
could do it.
Me, the old F, I would not be. But
Is it is it like a situation like The Mask with Jim Carrey where you just put the wig on and you just kind of turn into like, is that how to, that's my headcanon how that happens.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah, and they were happy that you made it. I let everyone know that it's like, oh, Tony made it because they were worried about you. They were like, oh,
They
is he
were.
gonna be able? Is he gonna be able to come in? Like, did that situation work out? I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna be there.
Yeah, no, 100%. We're able to make it and happily surprised. I was like, oh, that's an approval. All right. And then it was like, they give you parking too. I was like, yeah, they must really want to know where I am when they need to come and break my legs for that story. But no, actually, the one loss that San Diego did take, unfortunately, was Snapdragon Catering versus LAFC Catering. Oh my goodness. I'm not a big fan of chile rellenos, but chile rellenos were presented and wow. Just wow. And halftime, they bring a tiendita with like snacks, chamoy, and like
that's cool.
Just bags of like the $10 AMC boxes of candy, like just there. Didn't have any, just high blood sugar.
Of course not. Responsible man, but
absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean the food at Snapdragon hasn't been.
It's fine, but you know what? It's okay. Oh, and Portos, LA just that.
Okay, I've never. I don't know, but I can ask if you, like Abe. Is it the exact same spread for SDFC as it is for Wave?
For at Snapdragon?
At Snapdragon, is it like the chicken and the potato tacos like we get every single?
They get much
match?
better at San Diego FC.
Oh, okay, good.
The sad tacos with cebolla and cilantro off to the side.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
You're not even a salsa.
No, when it's enchilada soup, because they can't figure out, like the chefs make enchiladas decently for, Güero folk, but then they give you tongs, enchiladas that are just wet, it's disintegrate. But then they're like, oh well, let's have a spatula. But then it's just anyway, these are the real issues that people tune into.
Let's get to the bottom of this. The free food we receive when we go for free to go cover their matches.
But no, it was a great time out there. Good seeing everybody, and it was good to see San Diego be represented in such a way over in LA. And look, Padres de Los Angeles until further notice.
Yeah. Like you got a spot on. Like this was a dream match for San Diego FC and its fans, and they remain top of the West, 1 point behind Philadelphia for Supporters Shield with 5 games to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Craig, Alex, this is su casa también, SanDiego.Futbol, mi casa su casa. Anything else from you guys on today? And we'll have a preview because, again, we'll have an episode.
Thursday.
This Thursday.
Yeah,
I
we'll have
am
an
also
episode this
tired.
Thursday.
I left BMO at what, 12:30.
I'm going to be so confused because today's Monday, but I think it's Sunday, and I'm taking my son to school tomorrow, and I'll think it's Monday and it's Tuesday, so I'll be confused. But we will be there on Thursday for sure with episode 15 proper of CHROMANIACS. Padres Hot Tub will be back tomorrow after the Labor Day weekend. Both Chris and Rafi have been away, and boy, the team just saved their worst performances for the week. So
Yeah.
we'll have a piss and moan fest probably on PhD coming up tomorrow, and a new episode as well of Crossing Streams coming up this week. So busy podcast week. A couple weeks from now, the Four Nations Cup up in Oceanside at Front Wave Arena. So we'll get in on that as well. Probably have a little soccer summertime in the next 2 weeks to preview that too, Tony. So lots of fun stuff happening, and always appreciate being here.
Absolutely love having you here. It's an honor. I love your time being spent here as well, Alex.
Yeah. Thanks for you guys. Thanks for having us, and yeah, thanks to everybody I was hanging out with at the match. It was lots of fun, lots of dancing and singing and cheering, and it was a lot for starting at 2 from getting to the bus, getting at the bus, and then all the way till midnight when I got home. So it was a long day. And then check us out, CHROMANIACS podcast, and then check my Substack, Chromatic FC. I'll have a nice little recap of another away days trip, and this is the second one. I probably will have a third one towards the end of the season, which is going to be exciting at Portland.
Oh,
So
gosh.
that's going to be fun.
That's when I want to go to. I so bad.
Seriously, if there's one I could go to, that would be the one I'd want to go to the most.
I went to Portland, San Diego Wave in 2022 for the playoffs. Genuinely one of the coolest soccer atmospheres I've ever been to. Portland is so cool. They know how to do soccer right.
That's coming from an Oregon Duck, so that's huge.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it rivaled Autzen Stadium. It was cool.
Rival.
It was almost as good as Eugene. Got it.
Yeah,
Heard.
not as good as Eugene. Nothing's as good as Eugene, but
Fair enough. All right, fellas. Have a
Sounds
great
good.
rest of the show.
Yeah.
Let me know if the Waves score a goal.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Anytime between here and there.
Doubt it. It's that offense is struggling. All right, Craig, Alex, see you on Thursday. Thank you guys for joining.
Take
Discover
care, fellas. You bet.
SanDiego.Futbol.